Hi, I'm Damien, and today I'm talking about criticizing. So, criticism, yeah, and I just want to talk about how it's commonly seen. None of this is absolute, but often. So, I would say, normally speaking, most of the time when you interact with other people, they want you to say something positive. And that usually comes down to what they define as positive. But just generally speaking, they want you to say something positive. And if you say a lot of critical things, you're often very critical of anything. It doesn't even have to be something. You might be complaining about something that has nothing to do with them. But if you're in that frame of complaining, criticizing, a lot of the time people aren't going to be happy about it. And I think one of the main reasons why this is, because there's a whole variety of reasons, but one of the main reasons why this is that people, like, if you look at interaction, obviously there's interaction where it's like, hand me the screwdriver. Those sort of exchanges that are all about achieving something practical. Maybe it involves your work. But then there's conversation, or conversation that is more of a social thing, right? Like it happens maybe at lunchtime at work, or it's at a function or an event or a party or a social gathering, this type of thing. That sort of conversation. That's what I'm talking about. So when you're having conversation for the sake of conversation, it's not some sort of a exchange to achieve a goal. People, the way they experience it or want it or see it, I mean, they don't consciously see it. They see it as entertainment, but that is kind of how it's a good model for what they're doing and what they want out of the conversation that you're having with them. It's entertainment. That's what they tend to want out of this conversation that you're having with them in this casual social type of situation. This is what people want from conversation. They're not aware of that themselves. They're not thinking to themselves, hey, I want this guy to entertain me. But in reality, that is what they want. Just that they're not consciously even considering what they want. And so they want entertainment, and simply speaking, obviously it's a complex topic, but as a simple model, that's what they want. They want entertainment, and to look at it like that. And so then what you're saying to them, it's a form of content. It's if you think of it in the entertainment terms, it's like, entertainment, it's like watching a movie, or before movies, it was watching plays. You might go and you watch a sport event. You're being entertained, right? And so there's different forms of entertainment. In terms of movies, you might feel in the mood for a horror movie, or you might feel in the mood for a drama, or you might feel in the mood for a romance. You might feel in the mood for a thriller movie. So people are in different moods, and they want different kinds of entertainment depending on whatever mood they're in. And criticizing or complaining, that is a valid form of conversation, but it's only one genre of entertainment. And if you're constantly putting that out or giving that to someone, a lot of the times they're just not in the mood for that. And this becomes sort of more confusing or more poignant because they might actually have agreed with whatever you were saying had they been in the mood for that. But now, because you're complaining and they're not in the mood to hear someone complain, they're going to offer resistance to what you're saying just because they're not in the mood to hear this. They don't want to hear this. This isn't the kind of entertainment they want at this point in time. And and so then what often happens, which makes it even worse, it becomes like this vicious cycle, is you start defending what you're saying and trying to justify your complaints and your criticisms. And then you're actually giving them more of what they didn't want. And so then they start throwing tomatoes at the screen because, they're not enjoying this form of entertainment. And that's the vicious circle of it. But then, ironically or paradoxically to that, they might even then agree with what you're saying just to shut you up. Just to make this kind of entertainment, this kind of content stuff, and to change the channel to another form of content. And so, and they're not even consciously aware that they're doing it for these reasons. They're not thinking to themselves, I don't want to hear someone complain at this point in time. They're not thinking to themselves, they're just not enjoying it. Just the way you would just flick a channel on the TV and they're just trying to turn that channel to a different channel on the TV, or on the YouTube, turn to a different YouTube channel. You have to sort of read the room. And also, it is true, because I was talking with my brother and he was like, yeah, but they have to put up with what you're saying to some extent. Otherwise, they're being bad people. And that's true to some extent as well. But it's also true that as the entertainer or the person providing the content, you have to have awareness of your audience as well. Works both ways. Anyway, that's just a bit about criticism. Yeah.